What up, photography squad? Today we talk about the Lumix LX100, the unexpected love story. I recently came across this Lumix LX100. I bought it at a thrift store for a good price, and I was just gonna post on eBay and sell it and make some profit on it. Then a family Tahoe trip came up and I couldn't decide on what camera to bring. I began going through the average human experience of last minute packing and stressing of leaving something behind, bouncing back and forth between that and my creative anxiety of deciding what camera to bring. Should it be digital? Should it be film? Should it be a pro camera? Do I need my mic? Am I gonna vlog? How many SD cards? How many batteries? Just overthinking the whole scenario with even these other cameras here behind me. So many things to think about. It got to the point where when I was done packing, it was pretty late at night, I even just decided not to bring a camera at all.
Yeah, okay, you get weed still.
Oh.
You got your gloves?
Yeah, no, don't do that again.
I decided I would just go on vacay with no camera and just enjoy the moments, which I haven't really done in a long time, so it would have been really nice to do that for myself. Yet the next morning I decided to just take one more look at my wall and see if I could grab maybe a last minute film camera, thinking I'll just need one battery, a couple rolls, and just one camera and not think about too much. But then I saw the LX100 that I had up here and I thought, why not? It's a digital compact camera with manual controls, and I needed to take some sample and some test shots for myself before selling the camera.
Don't want to mislead. This is all you need. Be your everything, and I'll be your everything. Still too soon to feel. Please stay in the thrill. More than just a thrill. You're just in it for the thrill. I'm in it for the love, 'cause love it needs to touch it. You're pressing on my body. Babe, let me tell you something. I'm in it for the love, 'cause love it needs to touch it. You're pressing on my body. Babe, let me tell you something. I'm in it for the love. I'm in it for the love. I'm in it for the love.
Mountains up there.
Where?
Yeah, there was there.
Whoa!
There we go.
why not bring this camera? If I use it, great. If I don't, it is what it is. I'm nothing to lose. It's a nothing to lose type of camera. I also got it for a really good price, so if I broke it or I lost it during the trip, it wouldn't be that big of a deal. That's definitely something I stress about when I think about bringing the Sony A7C that I'm recording on right now and the Sony ZV-E10. It was a nice little compromise that I made in my last 2-minute selection, and it turned out to be a really great choice. Shooting with the LX100 was quite enjoyable. I quickly adapted to it and its manual dials. I really enjoyed being able to just quickly switch the dials from if I needed aperture priority or if I needed shutter priority. As a film shooter and using a lot of manual dials in my process, I found it really easy to adapt to this camera, use it in the real world experiences. It kind of felt like the camera just simply disappeared. It being manual dial driven versus menu driven helped me stay in the moment instead of having to fidget around with the menu and its small little dials and making sure I'm in the right mode. This manual system helps me quickly feel confident that I am in the right mode that I want to be in, that I'm using the right aperture, that I'm using the right shutter speeds that I want for that exact moment, and then I can easily switch back to auto if I don't really care too much about having control over the settings. I think the LX100 is a good camera for photographers that want to bring a camera with them for casual shoots. It's a great camera for beginners. It's a great second camera for more serious photographers. It's a great camera for film photographers trying to transition back into digital having its manual dials versus a menu driven camera. It's also a really great secondary camera option for note taking for film photographers that don't want to burn through a roll. I know I myself find myself really wanting to take a second photo or third photo of a scene but I'm too concerned with burning through the roll of doing that, and maybe shooting one shot that you like with the film and then shooting with the digital where you can experiment a little bit more. You'd feel better about shooting that scene, and you can always try to mimic the colors and stuff from that first shot of film, which is definitely something that I have thought about doing, is maybe shooting with a film camera and then having this just be my second whenever I'm out photo walking. We'll also add that this is great for film photographers transitioning from SLRs or rangefinders because of the manual dials. I want to emphasize that this is my favorite feature about the camera, that I was out shooting, I was able to say, hey, I want to use f2.8, I want to use f4, I want to use f8, and then I can transition back to auto if I'm back to just trying to capturing family and friends. And then I also like that I'm able to override the shutter speed, where I know, let's say the kids have a lot of movement, that I can go to 1/25 of a second and capture everything in that speed. So at least I know everything is fast paced and I can stop motion. That's a great feature for film photographers. That's why they like the Fuji 100V, because you have these vintage style looking cameras, but they also have these manual dials that you can quickly adjust to. Some other things to really add is I really enjoyed the viewfinder. Whenever I was using the viewfinder, I really liked the colors that I could see through the viewfinder, it made it seem more saturated and bright. It could ultimately be a con because that's not really what the camera displays when you're previewing it or seeing it on your computer. But I like it in a sense for when I'm shooting and I see these very saturated colors, that this is what it could potentially look like when I edit in Lightroom. So it motivates me to see like, oh, like this is how I see the scene in person and this is how it looks through the viewfinder, very saturated, colorful, bright, but I don't have to edit that way if I don't want to. But I was very motivated by the blues and the reds that I would see in the camera viewfinder. Another pro for myself as to why I like this camera, and others may not agree, is that it is a zoom lens. I often, when deciding on cameras, on top of what camera I should bring, I also stress about what lens I should bring. It being a fixed zoom lens, it helps you kind of just get over thinking about, do I have the right lens? Is it wide enough? Is it tele enough? It gets you to stop thinking about it and just shoot. It's a super important thing for me when I'm out shooting because I don't want the camera to get in the way of me thinking, oh, I brought the 50, I should have brought the 28, I brought the 28, I should have brought the 50. Simple things like that. It gets you to stop wishing you had the right tool and just use the tool. So if you're looking for your next love story in photography, check out the LX100. There is a Leica version that I don't remember the name of, but I would stick to the Lumix LX100s. It's very budget friendly and great option. And that's it for this video, guys. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button for me. If you have any questions, suggestions, comment down below. And as always, guys, happy shooting. I wish I redid all of that. I might just do it again anyway. Okay. No, I'm just gonna fuck it. Edit.